I thank you all for coming. Just one quick announcement. Next Friday, we have chamber coffee and ribbon cutting at the Top Loft Clothing downtown, 526 North Adams. So with that, I will turn it over to Alicia.
Right here.
Oh, there she is. There she went.
Hi. Welcome to Plains area, our Carroll office. We span quite a few counties nowadays. We're in Lamar's, Cherokee, Ida Grove, Storm Lake, Orange City, Jefferson, Carroll, and Denison. We merged with Denison a couple years back. We offer an array of services at Plains area. We offer psychiatric care, which is medication management. We offer psychotherapy, which is mental health counseling. We have an outreach program, and those folks go into the homes and help people with daily living. And we have a new program, our Integrated Health Services program. That is a program that mostly does coordination of care. In that program, it's a Medicaid program. The individual or child has a team of people working with them. There's a care coordinator who kind of makes sure all the practitioners are talking, like the doctor and the counselor. They have a nurse on their team that can help them with medication questions and day-to-day things. And then they have a peer coordinator who either has experienced a mental health issue themselves or has a close family member who has experienced a mental health issue. So they have kind of those wraparound services available to them. And we would really like to get that type of a service for all of the insurances that we cover here. It'd be a really good thing if you ever have a chance to do some advocacy. We have the best outcomes when people have their medication management, their therapy, and their coordination of care here under the same roof. An exciting thing that's happening at Plains is that we just hired a supervisor for the Lamar's area who will also be specializing in co-occurring disorders. So that's when you have a mental health diagnosis and a substance abuse diagnosis together. So she will be the supervisor in Lamar's, but she will also be growing that program for all the offices of Plains. So hopefully soon we'll be able to offer that service as well. So that's a huge need in this state. Along with that, we added a new program last February. It's a crisis services home. It's a kind of a step up program, so it's for individuals who don't quite need a hospitalization, so they're not necessarily in immediate danger to themselves or others, but they do need some crisis stabilization, so they go to the home. The goal is 3 to 5 days. Sometimes they're longer depending on their other life circumstances. Heidi Loaf is actually our full-time therapist there at the Crisis Stabilization Home. It's free to anyone who lives in our region, so it's free of charge for anyone who lives in Carroll County. And they can be referred by their primary doctor, by us, pretty much almost by anyone. So if you ever need to get in touch with them, you can call them directly. We have brochures on the table over here. Or you can just call the office or have them go to their primary doctor. Did you want to add anything about that?
I think you covered it.
Okay.
It's in Sac City.
Yep, it's in Sac City. So, you know, it is a bit of traveling for some people, but it's within our region.
The staff picks them up and takes them back, so transportation is never an issue.
Yep. So if you ever need more information, just call here to the local office. I did want to mention within this office, we do have 4 suites. We have psychotherapy offices over here. On that side, we have our regular waiting area, a couple of psychotherapy offices, and a couple of psychiatric offices. Most of our psychiatry, our medication management, is done by telemedicine. So the practitioner is in another office and they see them on a big video screen. But we do have our staff who checks them in, welcomes them, takes them back to the room, that kind of thing, takes their height and weight. So they do get some personal care. We would like to add face-to-face, and that's something that we continue to work on. In the other suites down at the end of the building, we have play therapy and parent-child interaction therapy. Those are 2 separate rooms down there. And then on the other side, we have our clubhouse, and we would love you to tour either one of those. You've probably heard me talk about parent-child interaction therapy before. It's a unique evidence-based therapy where the therapist actually coaches the parent to do play therapy with their own child. So the therapist is in a different room and the parent wears a hearing Bluetooth device and they communicate that way. So the therapist is watching them over an observation screen and coaching the parent how to do play therapy with their own child. It's really neat because the child and the parent bond instead of the child bonding with the therapist. And we do have brochures for all of those things too. Under the psychotherapy umbrella, we also offer EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's another evidence-based practice to treat trauma and anxiety, where we actually kind of work with the brain. It's more of a protocol than just a talk therapy, and it has really, really good results if somebody sticks with it. Several of our clinicians are currently in training for dialectical behavioral therapy. It's a group therapy for people who have really difficult problems with emotional regulation or borderline personality disorder. We try to call it more emotional regulation disorder. It's just kind of a kinder term. So we're really excited about that because a lot of people that we struggle with in individual therapy, that's kind of the last piece that we need in place to help those individuals stay out of the hospital, stay in their homes, that kind of thing. So we're really excited that soon we'll have those 3 evidence-based practices under our roof, the PCIT, the EMDR, and the DBT. Anything else? All of our practitioners are here, I think, today. Stacy's not here. Oh, Stacy's in Denison today. I didn't know she'd go here. So we have Rita, Lois, Glenna, and Heidi. They're all full-time practitioners. Well, Rita's part-time, but she seems like she's full-time. So if you have any questions, you can ask any of us. Anybody have questions right now? Well, I really appreciate you all coming. We love to have community members come in and learn more about what we do. In my experience in the last 6 years, the main reason why people don't get well or unfortunately end their life is because there's so much stigma about getting into the office. 90% of the suicides that have happened in our area since I've worked here the last 6 years are people who were not in services. And so you can go out all the time and talk about the statistics of mental health and the statistics of suicide. But what we really should be talking about is awareness and how it's okay to come in here to get services, and that anybody from the worried well to the very ill can come in and can benefit from that. So I really appreciate it if you guys could take that message out into the community.